What's up, y'all? This is Marcus Sniffles with a recap of the Colts' 27-24 win against the Pittsburgh Steelers at home to bring us up to 2-2, 500 in the first quarter of the season. I know this video is a little bit late in the week to be talking about a game that happened on Sunday, but I was out of town visiting family and I wasn't able to get into my super high-tech studio that you see behind me. So I had to kind of wait a few days, so I appreciate you guys being patient with me. Before we get into the recap of the video, make sure you guys are liking it, subscribe to the channel. I know there's a lot of Colts fans that come through and watch these videos and they're not subscribing to the channel. I need you guys to subscribe to the channel. Help your boy out. Help me out. Like the video too. We're going to try to get this video up to 10 likes. So if we can get this video up to 10 likes, that would be fantastic and I really appreciate it. So let's get into the Colts victory over the Steelers. One thing I will say that I noticed throughout the entire game is that Shane Steichen and Gus Bradley called a pretty flawless game. Outside of Gus Bradley kind of playing prevent in the second half of the game, I thought they both did a great job. I was surprised that Shane came out throwing the ball on first down. I initially thought that, and I'm sure maybe the Steelers thought the same thing, but I would have thought that we would have came out running the ball. Like, first, second down, just keep running the ball. And on the flip side, Gus Bradley was like, yo, we're going to force you guys to pass it. We're going to force you into obvious passing downs and try to make plays that way. So I shout out to those guys, man. Hats off to them for calling up a great game plan and the players executing it. Shout out to Tanner Bortolini. Like, geez, man. A rookie coming in for Ryan Kelly playing at center and playing against a great defensive front and giving up nothing. Impressive. Got to give it up for Chris Ballard for finding that kid because that man's a baller. And now you can kind of, not rush Ryan Kelly back because you know that you got a guy that can play. And it's not like, Tanner went up against a bunch of scrubs. He went up against the Steelers. Like, that's an elite defensive line. And shout out to the O-line altogether. They pretty much erased TJ Watt. He made zero impact on that game. He didn't have any sacks. I think he might have had one pressure, but if you watch the Steelers, if you go back to I believe it was week 2, they played the Falcons. He wrecked that game. He wrecked their entire game plan. And for us to come in this week and pretty much erase him was impressive. Something else that caught my eye is that Josh Downs might be the key to the success of the offense. This is only his second game. His first game was kind of a warm-up, but the reason why I think Josh Downs kind of unlocks the entire offense is because he's able to win so quickly. Linebackers can't cover him. He works the zone. He finds the hole. Pause. He gets open very quickly, and not even him just getting the ball and getting open. He seems to have opened up Michael Pittman. Like, Michael Pittman, his first 3 games was unable to get over 50 yards. In this game, he had over 100 yards, and that's what Josh Downs producing. So there's got to be something to Josh Downs' impact on the offensive side of the ball. I would still like these quarterbacks to connect with A.D. Mitchell. Like, if you look at some of the advanced metrics, he's getting the most separation out of any receiver in the NFL. So he is getting open. They just got to get him the ball. That's all they got to do. So for my offensive MVP, it's obviously Josh Downs for making plays, converting on key third downs, and affecting the offense in a positive way as far as helping Michael Pittman Jr. make plays and get open, and for the tight ends to get that touchdown, Ogletree. Defensive MVP, got to give it up to EJ Speed, man. I called him out, I think week 2 and 3, as far as him being in a contract year and him not playing like it. This week he played like it. He made a lot of plays, was in the backfield, making all the tackles. Him and Zaire Franklin are really stepping it up. The run defense has been so much better since the second half of that Packers game. I don't know what happened or what changed because our defensive players have been getting hurt like crazy. So it's not like we're playing with we're not playing with, DeForest Buckner. We don't have Kenny Moore out there. We don't have Juju Brents out there. We don't have Taekwon Lewis out there anymore. We didn't have Kwity Paye out there. So it's not like the players that are good stepped up. It's that the players that we got and the players that stepped up are making plays, and that's impressive. That's a credit to the depth of the offense and the roster. So the last few games we've been losing the turnover battle, and the games that we've won the turnover battle. So against the Steelers, we had 2 turnovers, we forced 2 turnovers, and we had 0. So I mean, that's basic football. If you don't turn the ball over, but you turn them over, you're more likely to win games than not. So shout out to the defense for getting the ball back. Shout out to Womack and Lamons, the cornerbacks that we brought in and drafted. I feel like they've earned more playing time with or without Kenny Moore. When Kenny Moore comes back, I still think they need to see the field and get out there. Shout out to Jalen Jones, man. Like, I know he gave up one big pass, but he still made some plays out there. And I'm telling you guys, mark this down. Next year, when Juju Brents is back and healthy, and if we bring in another cornerback, if Jalen Jones is cornerback number 2 or 3, our defensive secondary is going to be great. I can already call that, especially with our pass rush. If Jalen Jones continues to ascend the way that he's going to be a great number 2 and an average number 1 corner. He's going to be a problem. He's going to make plays. I believe in that kid. I'm really happy watching him play out there. My only concerns about this game, the obvious ones, we're going to talk about Anthony Richardson a little bit later, but Matt Gay. We haven't had a really consistent kicker since Adam Vinatieri, and even towards the end of his stint here, he kind of fell off. Now, that we've had kickers before that didn't play well and missed a lot of kicks, but on the bright side, they were easily replaceable. Like, we could easily just bring someone up on waivers or find a free agent or do something. Chris Ballard paid Matt Gay like a lot of money. So for him to be on the roster, not converting kicks, like, this game could have been a three-score game, but he missed like a 50-yard kick, I believe. And I'm not saying it puts the game away, but you have to have a reliable kicker in the NFL. You don't have to have the greatest kicker. You don't have to have, prime Justin Tucker, but you need someone that's reliable. And I think that it changes how you go about calling plays and where you're at on the field, and if you want to go for it or if you want to just take, the free points. So that's concerning. I'm not going to lie. It's concerning. Okay, so we're going to talk about Anthony Richardson. But before we do that, if you guys are still here, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe. We're going to have more content about the Colts. We're going to talk about the first quarter of the season, the first 4 games, and see if the Colts are on track to make the playoffs and win the division. So this was kind of a frustrating game to watch as a fan because Anthony Richardson was playing so well. Like, he was 3 for 4, made some great throws in the pocket. Like, he was on target. He wasn't missing high, accurate, intermediate to medium passes that he was making, and it just seemed like he was locked in. He was running the ball well, and then he gets hurt. Like, he pretty much got laid out on a hit by Fitzpatrick. If you know anything about the AFC North teams, man, those defenses they hit harder than a lot of other teams apparently. So there was a question about if he should have slid or not. I think it's a little. You know what? I can pull up the play. Okay, so we have the play pulled up right here. This is after, I believe, a completion of Michael Pittman, and this is going to be the play that initially got Anthony hurt. So let's go ahead and check this out.
On the first drive where Richardson threaded the needle.
He was on it. Okay, so after he gets the first down, you can make a case that he should have slid.
Threaded the needle.
Like right about here, probably should have slid. If he slides at that moment, I'm gonna see if I can slow it down actually, so I don't have to keep pausing it or whatever. And obviously I'm not an athlete. I'm not a pro athlete. I'm not a quarterback. I'm not Anthony Richardson. Like, this is Monday. This is Thursday morning quarterbacking this, so it's easy to sit in my chair and slow it down up to half the speed and tell him like, oh, at this moment you need to slide. But I think this is something that AR is gonna learn. Like, hey, once you get the first down, you got to get down. You got to get down, and you're running pretty much up the middle. You're in between the hashes. So this is where the big guys are. You're not on the outside. If you're on the outside, I get it. You know, trying to run someone over, and I guess the momentum carried them. The adrenaline's going, but yeah, I get it. Like right about there, you should start sliding. You see him coming. The guy behind you knocks the ball out. Got to secure the ball. Like he's. I'm not saying he's got a fumbling problem, but he does need to work on that. He does need to work on that. But I like the aggression though. I like the aggression. But you do got to play smart and you got to protect yourself. I think if AR doesn't get hurt here, I think this game. I think we put up 30 something points, close to 40 points. Like I don't feel like the Steelers had an answer for our offense. Like they couldn't do anything with them. So and then we're gonna go into another quick point about should AR play against the Jaguars if he's not 100%. If he is immobile and can't protect himself, I say he should sit it out. If he's mobile enough to where he can still be effective in the run in the passing game, then I think he should play. I think Anthony Richardson is at the point of his career where he needs to get as many reps as he can. Like he just has to play. Like let's watch this route by Josh Downs real quick because it was kind of nasty. This is something that I think other receivers on our team can do, but I think Josh Downs is just better at. Like he reminds me of like Wes Welker, just quick feet, intermediate movements. He's just awesome player. I love Josh Downs.
Flacco,
right there,
boom, easy. Delivering to the end zone. He's got his man. It's down.
He's unguardable in that motion in that slot. Who was even on him? I think once you go into motion like that, nobody really knows who has him. You got like a corner, a nickel on him, moving in and out. Like, man, that dude's he's gonna be a great player. He's gonna be great. I can already tell you that. So I think the Jaguars don't have a good defense. They don't have a great defense. I think our offense is good enough to win and put up points against the Jaguars, but that's only if Jonathan Taylor is playing. I don't think we can win with Joe Flacco. I think with Joe Flacco at quarterback, it kind of limits the offense. Like he's going to make, the intermediate and short passes, but the team becomes one-dimensional when it comes to running the ball, and I'm not sure how accurate he is as a deep ball thrower. He can still sling it, but a lot of people say he played well last year, but he threw a lot of interceptable balls. So I'm not really, I don't really trust him that much. So I think if AR can play and he's like close to 90% and can still move and protect himself, I think he should play, especially if Jonathan Taylor's going to miss time. This is a big game, and we've lost to the Jaguars in Jacksonville, I think, 9 times in a row. This is a divisional game. It's a road game. If Anthony can go, he needs to go. Like, I'm not saying it's a must-win game, but this is as close to a must-win as you can this early in the season, especially to start the second quarter. I think this is where we're going to our run of divisional games. So I think we have a good chance of winning that game. I like our team. And to quote Chris Ballard, I like our guys. So thanks for watching. Thanks for watching this far. Make sure you guys like the video, subscribe to the channel. If you click somewhere on the screen, I should have a playlist of all of the games that I've recapped. I've done every game from week 1. And the next video is going to be about us talking about the first quarter of the season and if it's gone the way that we want it to go. So make sure you guys check that out. Appreciate the support. Peace.